Do you want to successfully complete the WGU D196 Objective Assessment for Principles of Financial and Managerial Accounting course? Then you're in the right place. Our website provides a list of questions and answers with an emphasis on preparing for your success in the Principles of Financial and Managerial Accounting D196 course. In this video, we will cover questions from financial statement, accounting principles, cost accounting, managerial versus financial accounting, budgeting. So, let's get started. 1. What is the correct sequence of budgets in a manufacturing business? A. Sales, production, direct materials. B. Direct materials, sales, production. C. Production, sales, direct materials. D. Sales, direct materials, production. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer. A. Explanation. The budgets in a manufacturing business typically follow the sequence of sales, production, and direct materials to ensure adequate resources for production based on expected sales. 2. Which group establishes financial accounting rules in the United States? A. International Accounting Standards Board, IASB. B. Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC. C. Financial Accounting Standards Board, FASB. D. American Institute of Certified Public Accountants, AICPA. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer. C. Explanation. The Financial Accounting Standards Board, FASB, is the primary body responsible for setting accounting rules in the United States, known as Generally Accepted Accounting Principles, GAAP. 3. Why might employees be interested in their company's financial accounting information? A. To evaluate company ownership. B. To determine possible mergers. C. To calculate their bonuses. D. To predict stock prices. Do you know the answer? Correct answer. C. Explanation. Financial statement data are often used to calculate employee bonuses, making employees interested in the company's financial performance. 4. Which report is one of the three primary financial statements? A. Statement of retained earnings. B. Statement of cash flows. C. Statement of equity. D. Statement of dividends. Do you know the answer? Correct answer. B. Explanation. The statement of cash flows is one of the three primary financial statements, along with the balance sheet and the income statement. 5. A company borrowed $80,000 cash from a bank. How does this transaction affect the accounting equation? A. Assets increase by $80,000. Liabilities increase by $80,000. B. Assets decrease by $80,000. Equity increases by $80,000. C. Liabilities decrease by $80,000. Equity decreases by $80,000. D. Assets increase by $80,000. Equity decreases by $80,000. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer. A. Explanation. When a company borrows cash, it increases both its assets, cash, and its liabilities, the loan amount. 6. What is the effect of expenses on the accounting equation? A. Expenses decrease liabilities. B. Expenses increase assets. C. Expenses decrease equity. D. Expenses increase revenues. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer. C. Explanation. Expenses reduce the owner's equity in the company because they represent costs incurred by the business. 7. Which type of account are accounts payable and notes payable examples of? A. Asset. B. Equity. C. Liability. D. Revenue. Can you guess the answer? Correct. Answer C. Explanation. Both accounts payable and notes payable are liability accounts, representing the amounts the company owes to others. 8. What is the purpose of the financial accounting cycle? A. To report profits to employees. B. To gather information related to the expenses and income generated by a company. C. To determine the tax liability of the company. D. To calculate stock prices for investors. Do you know the answer? Correct answer. B. Explanation. The financial accounting cycle collects and processes financial transactions to generate useful information about the company's performance and financial position. 9. According to the accounting equation, the amount of liabilities and equity must always be equal to which other amount? A. Revenues. B. Cash flow. C. Profits. D. Assets. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer. D. Explanation. The accounting equation states that assets must always equal the sum of liabilities and equity. 10. Which item is an expense item? A. Accounts receivable. B. Inventory. C. Cost of goods sold. D. Retained earnings. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer. C. Explanation. Cost of goods sold is an expense related to the production of goods sold by a company. 11. How is gross profit computed? A. Sales minus cost of goods sold. B. Sales plus cost of goods sold. C. Revenue minus expenses. D. Sales minus operating expenses. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer. A. Explanation. Gross profit is calculated as the difference between sales and the cost of goods sold, reflecting the profit from core operations before deducting other expenses. 12. Which type of account is retained earnings? A. Liability. B. Asset. C. Equity. D. Revenue. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer. C. Explanation. Retained earnings are part of equity, representing the cumulative earnings of the company that have not been distributed as dividends. 13. For purposes of cash flow classification in the statement of cash flows, which item is an operating activity? A. Borrowing money. B. Paying employees. C. Purchasing land. D. Issuing stock. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer. B. Explanation. Operating activities include day-to-day transactions, such as paying employees, purchasing inventory, and collecting payments from customers. 14. How does a classified balance sheet provide useful information to a decision maker? A. It distinguishes between current and long-term assets. B. It calculates net income for the period C. It only focuses on equity transactions. D. It separates revenues from expenses. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer. A. Explanation. A classified balance sheet helps decision makers by showing the distinction between short-term, current, and long-term assets and liabilities. 15. What information does a balance sheet provide to a decision maker? A. Summary of cash inflows and outflows over a period. B. Detailed record of revenue and expenses. C. Summary of the financial position of a company at a particular date. D. List of projected future revenues. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer. C. Explanation. The balance sheet provides a snapshot of the financial position of a company, showing its assets, liabilities, and equity at a specific point in time. 16. What is an account payable? A. An amount owed to a company by its customers. B. A liability for goods or services a company has purchased on credit. C. An asset related to the company's investments. D. Equity shares issued by the company. Do you know the answer? Correct answer. B. Explanation. Accounts payable represent amounts owed by a company to its suppliers or vendors for goods or services purchased on credit. 17. Why is the net cash for December negative, while total sales for December are the highest out of the months from October through December? A. The company paid off a large debt in December. B. Total cash available does not reflect December sales because there was a high volume of credit sales. C. December expenses were unusually high. D. The company made a large capital investment in December. Do you know the answer? Correct answer. B. Explanation. The company's cash flow is negative because many December sales were made on credit, meaning cash was not collected immediately. 18. Managerial accounting focuses on which type of information? A. Financial information for internal decision-making. B. Reporting financial results to external stakeholders. C. Tracking stock market performance. D. Auditing a company's tax compliance. Do you know the answer? Correct answer. A. Explanation. Managerial accounting provides financial information used for internal planning, control, and decision-making processes. 19. Financial accounting focuses on reporting financial information to which group? A. Internal management. B. External parties such as stockholders, creditors, and regulators. C. A company's marketing team. D. Tax authorities only. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer. B. Explanation. Financial accounting is concerned with providing financial reports to external stakeholders such as investors, creditors, and regulators. 20. What is looked at in managerial accounting? A. Budgeting, product costs, performance evaluation, and break-even analysis. B. Stock price fluctuations and investor returns. C. External reporting compliance. D. Customer satisfaction metrics. Do you know the answer? Correct answer. A. Explanation. Managerial accounting deals with internal operations, including product costs, budgeting, and performance evaluation, all aimed at helping managers make informed decisions. 21. What is looked at in financial accounting? A. Customer satisfaction levels. B. Credit analysis, regulatory uses, and company valuation estimates. C. Break-even analysis and performance evaluation. D. Customer segmentation. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer. B. Explanation. Financial accounting provides information such as credit analysis and company valuation, primarily used by external stakeholders for regulatory and investment purposes. 22. What is the purpose of an income statement? A. To list all company assets and liabilities. B. To show the company's cash, inflows and outflows. C. To report how much profit or loss was made over a specific period. D. To provide details on shareholder equity. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer. C. Explanation. The income statement reports a company's revenue, expenses, and net income over a specific period, revealing its profitability. 23. Which report provides details on a company's obligations and its ownership claims? A. Income statement. B. Statement of retained earnings. C. Balance sheet. D. Cash flow statement. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer. C. Explanation. The balance sheet reports a company's assets, liabilities, and equity, giving insight into its financial position. 24. Which group establishes financial accounting rules in the United States? A. Internal Revenue Service. B. Financial Accounting Standards Board. C. Securities and Exchange Commission. D. American Institute of Certified Public Accountants. What do you think is the answer? Correct. Answer. B. Explanation. The FASB is responsible for establishing generally accepted accounting principles, GAAP, used in financial accounting in the United States. 25. How are direct labor costs treated in cost accounting? Well, A. They are classified as part of manufacturing overhead. B. They are added to the company's profits. C. They are considered part of the company's operating expenses. D. They are considered a product cost and traced directly to specific products. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer. D. Explanation. Direct labor costs are treated as a product cost because they can be directly traced to the production of specific products. 26. Which budget reflects a company's plan for purchasing raw materials? A. Sales budget. B. Production budget. C. Direct materials budget. D. Overhead budget. Do you know the answer? Correct answer. C. Explanation. The direct materials budget estimates the amount and cost of raw materials needed to meet production goals. 27. Which type of cost fluctuates in total with production, but remains constant per unit? A. Fixed cost. B. Variable cost. C. Stepped cost. D. Overhead cost. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer. B. Explanation. Variable costs change in total as production increases or decreases, but remain constant per unit. 28. Which of the following is an example of a liability account? A. Accounts receivable. B. Retained earnings. C. Accounts payable. D. Cash. Do you know the answer? Correct. Answer. C. Explanation. Accounts payable is a liability account representing amounts owed to suppliers for goods or services purchased on credit. 29. Which item is considered part of a company's owner's equity? A. Notes payable. B. Inventory. C. Retained earnings. D. Prepaid expenses. Do you know the answer? Correct answer. C. Explanation. Retained earnings are part of owner's equity and represent accumulated profits not distributed as dividends. 30. Which statement is true about fixed costs? A. Fixed costs increase as production increases. B. Fixed costs decrease as production decreases. C. Fixed costs remain constant in total, regardless of production levels. D. Fixed costs vary with the number of units produced. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer. C. Explanation. Fixed costs remain the same in total, regardless of production levels, though the per unit fixed cost decreases as more units are produced. Struggling with your WGU exams? We've all been there. Welcome to OAExams.com, your ultimate resource for WGU success. Find over 15,000 plus questions and answers. Join our thriving community of over 10,000 active WGU students and an impressive 100% success rate with our premium exam support. Visit OAExams.com today and take the first step toward guaranteed success. 31. What does a manufacturing overhead budget typically include? A. Direct labor costs. B. Factory maintenance and utilities costs. C. Raw materials costs. D. Sales commission. Do you know the answer? Correct answer. B. Explanation. A manufacturing overhead budget includes indirect costs such as factory maintenance, utilities, and other expenses not directly tied to production labor or materials. 32. Which type of account is accounts receivable? A. Asset. B. Liability. C. Equity. D. Expense. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer. A. Explanation. Accounts receivable is an asset account representing amounts owed to the company by customers for sales made on credit. 33. Which report summarizes the financial position of a company at a specific point in time? A. Income statement. B. Cash flow statement. C. Statement of retained earnings. D. Balance sheet. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer. D. Explanation. The balance sheet provides a snapshot of a company's financial position, listing its assets, liabilities, and owner's equity as of a specific date. 34. Which cost is classified as a product cost? A. Office supplies. B. Marketing expense. C. Raw materials. D. Depreciation of headquarters, building. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer. C. Explanation. Product costs include all costs that are necessary to create a product, such as raw materials, direct labor, and manufacturing overhead. 35. Which type of business operation would use a job costing system? A. A company that mass produces cereal. B. A furniture manufacturer that makes custom pieces. C. A company that refines oil. D. A retail clothing store. Do you know the answer? Correct answer. B. Explanation. Job costing systems are used by companies that manufacture unique custom products, such as furniture made to order. 36. What is the correct formula to compute the contribution margin? A. Sales. Fixed costs. B. Sales. Variable costs. C. Fixed costs. Variable costs. D. Sales. Operating costs. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer. B. Explanation. Contribution margin is calculated as sales revenue minus variable costs, showing the amount available to cover fixed costs and contribute to profit. 37. Which of the following is an indirect cost in a manufacturing company? A. Wages for the production supervisor. B. Raw materials used to make a product. C. Direct labor for assembling a product. D. Sales commission. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer. A. Explanation. The wages of a production supervisor are classified as indirect labor, part of manufacturing overhead, as they cannot be directly traced to individual products. 38. Which financial statement reports the inflows and outflows of cash for a company? A. Balance sheet. B. Income statement. C. Statement of cash flows. D. Statement of retained earnings. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer. C. Explanation. The statement of cash flows reports cash inflows and outflows from operating, investing, and financing activities over a specific period. 39. Which of the following is considered a direct cost? A. Factory rent. B. Marketing expense. C. Cost of raw materials used in production. D. Salary of factory security staff. Do you know the answer? Correct answer. C. Explanation. Direct costs are those that can be directly traced to a specific product, such as raw materials or direct labor. 40. Which of the following is an uncontrollable cost for a production manager? A. Direct labor costs. B. Depreciation on factory equipment. C. Variable production supplies. D. Utility usage in the production process. Do you know the answer? Correct answer. B. Explanation. Depreciation on factory equipment is a fixed cost that cannot be controlled or influenced by a production manager, as it results from previous capital investment decisions. 41. What is an example of a non-financial metric that might be used in managerial accounting? A. Sales revenue. B. Cost of goods sold. C. Customer satisfaction ratings. D. Return on investment. Do you know the answer? Correct answer. C. Explanation. Non-financial metrics such as customer satisfaction ratings provide valuable information for managerial decision-making beyond traditional financial measures. 42. How is depreciation classified in cost accounting? A. As a direct cost. B. As a period cost. C. As a product cost. D. As an opportunity cost. Do you know the answer? Correct answer. C. Explanation. Depreciation on factory equipment used in production is classified as a product cost and allocated to the cost of goods manufactured. Which of the following is an example of a fixed cost? A. Utility costs that increase with production. B. Wages for production workers. C. Rent for a factory. D. Raw materials used in production. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer. C. Explanation. Rent is considered a fixed cost because it remains constant regardless of the level of production or sales. 44. What is the role of the Financial Accounting Standards Board, FASB? A. To establish financial accounting standards in the U.S. B. To audit financial statements for public companies. C. To regulate the U.S. stock market. D. To set tax regulations for corporations. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer. A. Explanation. The FASB sets generally accepted accounting principles, which provide the framework for financial reporting in the U.S. 45. What is the correct sequence for preparing financial statements? A. Statement of cash flows, balance sheet, income statement. B. Income statement, balance sheet, statement of cash flows. C. Balance sheet, income statement, statement of cash flows. D. statement of retained earnings, income statement, balance sheet. Do you know the answer? Correct answer. B. Explanation. The income statement is prepared first to determine net income, which is then used to complete the balance sheet and statement of cash flows. 46. Which of the following is an example of variable costs? A. Insurance premiums, B. Depreciation expense, C. Direct labor costs, D. Rent expense. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer. C. Explanation. Variable costs, such as direct labor, fluctuate with production volume. As production increases, variable costs increase accordingly. 47. Which financial statement shows a company's profitability over a specific period? A. Balance sheet, B. Statement of retained earnings, C. Income statement, D. Statement of cash flows. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer. C. Explanation. The income statement shows a company's revenues, expenses, and net income, indicating its profitability over a specific period. 48. What is an example of an expense item? A. Accounts receivable, B. Retained earnings, C. Cost of goods sold, D. Common stock. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer. C. Explanation. Cost of goods sold is an expense item representing the direct costs of producing the goods that were sold during the period. 49. Which account is summarized on the balance sheet? A. Revenue, B. Owner's equity, C. Cost of goods sold, D. Marketing expenses. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer. B. Explanation. The balance sheet summarizes accounts such as assets, liabilities, and owner's equity, which represent the financial position of the company. 50. How are wages for office staff classified in a merchandising company? A. Direct labor expense, B. Administrative expense, C. Selling expense, D. Manufacturing overhead. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer. B. Explanation. Wages for office staff in a merchandising company are classified as administrative expenses, as they are not tied directly to the production of goods. You've reached the end of our first question set. For the complete exam preparation experience, visit us at OAExams.com, where you'll find thousands more practice questions and comprehensive study guides. Thanks for studying with us today. See you in the next video.